Hello, we are here. It was a very, very early start and I was not talking. I'm actually feeling really nervous. So I don't know how chatty this is gonna be, but we are here. We have had to bring our breakfast because I got her ready and Brad got the trailer straight on, and I think she saw the trailer and just got like heat up because she didn't actually start eating her hay until halfway here, which I didn't realise was panicking me a little bit, but no, she's fine. She's also had some hydration mash. I finally bought a proper size bucket with the flat back for the wall. But yes, we have in hand first, so I'm going to put some makeup on, get me dressed, and then we're going to come in and get her pristine. Okay, here we are then, first class. This is the in-hand area qualifier. Now, they had us all in together, which you will sometimes get at an area, and then what they'll do is they'll place you and give you your qualifications based on your age category. So here, she was asking me, am I diamond, or, you know, what age am I? We were just chatting. Did my trot go round? So you'll just come out one by one, trot almost like to the rear of the ride. And the arena, I don't really know if you can see it, but like there are dips and holes and kind of like mild trenches in this whole entire arena. So it was also actually incredibly muggy. And I think, thinking back, I wasn't pushing. I really should have just said to her, like, come on, get on with it. Like, you're perfectly fine with this kind of ground. And I was just being really, really cautious. And it was quite hot, but this is like a bit of a kick up the butt. And I keep having these kick up the butts, but I did not. I think because I had my area qualifier, I wasn't trying as hard as I can do, and I'm kicking myself for it. So here I am having the individual look. So got her ears all forward, alert. He's having a really good look round. We've actually competed under this judge a few times, and she's a bit like Marmite with him. He's loved her, he's not liked her, you know, we never really know. So this was the walk away and trot back. This is what he asked for. So walking away, again, I was just kind of like being a bit like, come on, come on, come on. She'd gone very flat. Little circle at the top. I try and make this as big as I possibly can because, you know, she is going to show any signs of stiffness. It's going to be on a circle. Trot back to the judge, and then you would trot round the corner, halt and salute. So I trotted back and he kind of watched our turn, and then that was it. So that was okay. I still stopped and saluted. I always make sure I do that in case they look up. But I'm not too mad because she wasn't actually square. So anyway, came the judging. They actually pulled it out as a class. So they didn't split it. So she was fifth, which is fine. Like the M&Ms up the front were an awful lot younger. This coloured cob is only 18. Dublin was by far the oldest in this class. I think the other one was 18 years old and she's 25. So it's quite hard to judge it when you've got 15, 16, 18-year-olds against a 25-year-old. But he did give out the qualifications on their age groups. So we have our qualifier. I would have done a voiceover, but yeah, just to summarise, just it's muggy. She's just a bit flat, which is fine. Also, I'm not too like, this is not me saying that she's like perfect and should have won, but the judge is an M&M like judge, so he loves his M&Ms. So I knew that the M&Ms would do well. I don't know how many M&Ms are in our Ridden, but we're also judging it as a whole class. You know, you are judging, there was a 15-year-old and Dublin at 25. Like, that's a massive, massive difference. So yeah, I do prefer it when they split the age groups. But then we're just cheating because we're the only diamond in that class. I don't know how many diamonds are going to be in the Ridden, but there's only 5 in the actual veteran Ridden class. So yeah, trousers off, joppers on, saddle on, let's go. Okay, the Ridden. And again, looking back, I'm aware of all the mistakes I've made in this, but here we go. So there was 5 of us in this. This is the corner that was the dodgiest. I left this bit in just to sort of show you. It kind of goes downhill and then there's a dip, and then the up bit is quite like steep. So up into trot. They did the go around very, very quickly. So we trotted round. I was trying to push for that nice big fancy trot that I've had in my lessons, but it was a bit slippy because we finally had some rain. And then by the time I got here, they were pretty much asking us to go up into canter. So I just waited for the flat bit and got her up into canter. I don't know why my rein looked really long there. Cantered round. Luckily, this was like her better rein, and I just want to address the tail swishing. I have had it looked into by vets and physios. They deem this fine. It's just like a tension thing. There's nothing actually wrong with her. She then wanted us to change the rein in the worst place, so I had to go behind her and everyone kind of followed me. But I did try to get this nice big fancier trot across the middle, and then I was just waiting to get past this sort of like trench to pick up back into canter. There's just a dip up there. The girl on the colour got her canter before the dip, so that was quite clever. I got mine after. Came down the side again. I was just taking it really cautious, so I wasn't getting the big drafty canter that I do know some judges have commented on liking before. I was just sort of nursing her round, but you know, ultimately I should have actually just pushed on. They called us into lineup and it was time for our individual. Now the weather meant that the camera was really struggling with the light, so I'm sorry, but he wanted us to walk away and trot back again. So I know that this was actually quite wobbly. I need to get some poles out and practice walking in a straight line. It's just the thing, you sort of stop practicing, and actually I really need to do that. So walk away, trot back. Dublin did try to anticipate a bit of a canter there, but I managed to keep it. But it did make her take a few odd steps, I suppose. Came down this sort of dodgy side. I like to always trot my first end, trot across the diagonal. And I chose to stick to that routine because it was better to either canter through that horrible dip or to walk it. So up into canter, tried to push for a nice forward balance so that I could come down this hill, collect her a little bit, come down this hill, come through this dodgy side. And I opted to do the canter figure of 8 rather than trot across the diagonal. I just popped in a few strides of trot here, got back up to where it was relatively flat, asked for canter again. And I'm so pleased actually with how obedient she was. There was not too much anticipation, but we had that trip like this. I don't even really know what happened. I think, I don't know. Was it the bad ground? Is it because she's due her shoes next week and her toes are a bit long? I don't know. But she recovered. I gave her a little pat. I just came back down to my trot, my walk, and stopped for a salute. But I think in the moment of panic, I didn't actually get a square halt. So yeah, we chucked away quite a few marks. They then placed it again as an overall class. So 2 colours first and second. Dubs was third. Always time for a little treat because she's always my winner. And then she gets to do the lap of honour. So she still gained her area qualifier because she was the only diamond. They didn't place it as sections. Normally it would have been that you were overall third, but she'd have had the first for her age category, but they weren't doing that today. But yeah, there we go. Our area qualifiers all obtained. You'll have to excuse them on my phone, but we are all finished. I actually popped her on the trailer and we just had a little walk around the county show. Bought some like cookie dough cake. Like, oh my god, so good. But I have just got her off. We only left her for an hour, but I just got her off a trailer, giving her a little leg stretch graze while I put all her boots on, and then we're gonna go home But yes, I am ultimately really pleased. Like, we have our qualifiers. Like the rings, obviously, as I would have said in the voiceover, didn't really work in our favour. Just didn't like them, and we had so much rain the night before. They were just a bit slippy. But we have now got both of our in-hand and area qualifiers, so we can happily enter Royal Lancashire now. We've got Royal Derbyshire in 2 weeks, so we're good to go. She's having some grass. Just gonna let her have some grass, put her boots on, get her home. Sorry. I am just gonna interrupt that ending because I was rushing. Ultimately, I was rushing. We'd gone and we'd walked around the county show, and we actually just desperately wanted to get Dublin home, but I knew we'd get back late, and I just wanted to like almost finish it because I was a bit rubbish. When we got back the trailer after my class, my boss actually and his family were there, so they came over and said hello, which meant that like while I was getting everything sorted in Dublin, untacked and Dublin like looked after, and then getting me changed, they were there, we were chatting to them. So really sorry about that. That was rubbish. I've also realised that I meant to say we have both of our in-hand and Ridden area qualifier. So we can now enter Royal Lancashire, which is the regional. But I am also doing a direct qualifier at Derbyshire Festival, which is being held at Somerford Park in 2 weekends. Not this weekend coming, the next weekend. So yeah, and then I just kind of always, like, I also just wanted to sort of just to jet in and be like, actually, I need to take some responsibility for that not going as well as I wanted it to. Yes, the rings weren't perfect and whatever, but that is showing. They're not always going to be like that. You do find that the veterans get put on a surface more often than not, but a lot of it I have to hold my hands up and say, actually, I think because I knew, or I'd worked out she was the oldest there, she was the only one in the diamond category, I worked out that, well, I had my qualifier, really kind of know what happened, unless she was god awful, or like lame or naughty or what have you. It places the top 4 for the area qualifier, so being the only one there, I was a bit, probably, not arrogant, that's the wrong word, but I wasn't giving it everything like I do when I'm like, oh my god, I really need to either like win this, or I need to come top 2, or I'm in like a massive open class and I have to really work hard to get chosen out of a class of like 20. I was very meh, so it's a bit of a kick up the bum. I also didn't lay my trailer out as well as I normally do at shows when I get everything out. So I've actually just now cleaned it, and I'm just repacking all the right boxes, and I've written down the bits that I run out of, so I need to go shopping. But yes, I wanted to just kind of like pop that in at the end. So yes, that was our Shropshire County Show. The areas are obtained, we are good to go. So now I can say I'll see you next time. Thanks guys!